If a man loves you, their actions show they love you. If a man love you, their action will show you they love you. Baby, listen to what I said. If a man love you, their action will show they love you. Baby, even my nail popped out because it was so short. Hi guys, welcome to Tasha Reacts. Welcome to Tasha Reacts. Hope it's doing well, it's doing good in the hood. Hi, my name is Tasha. I do have another channel called Tasha Society where I do hair, beauty, mostly hair over there. And I do have another channel called Tasha Jean where I do story times. Check me out. Alright, let me put my disclaimer out there. If you are a person who like, hey girl, I don't have time for the talking. Baby, I talk. I talk a lot. Sometimes I vent. Sometimes I project. Sometimes I just talk. Sometimes I just talk. Sometimes I just talk. That has nothing to do with the topic. If you are a person who's like, damn girl, this girl talked too much. She talks about nothing. Baby, I do leave the person's information down in the description bar below. Please don't write me and be like, oh, this would have been a cute reveal, but she talks too much. I do say it. But I know a lot of people don't really like to listen. So I'm just letting you know. I do talk, right? Whatever. Right, I want to say thank you to everybody who has subscribed to me, checked me out. I truly appreciate you. I know I'm not your regular schmegula reaction channel, but I really thank you guys for those who ride with me, those who have been there with me. Baby, we are almost at 800 subscribers. We're almost there. We're moving on up to the east side. Even though I'm on the east side, don't worry about it. We are almost there with the Jeffersons, okay? I want to say thank you to everybody who has subscribed to me, checked me out, encouraging words. Even wrote me on the sideline like, girl, keep doing it. Like, I appreciate y'all because I am a different type of breed. Okay, I ain't a regular schmegula girl. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little different. I was born a little different. So I want to say thank you to everybody who has subscribed to me, checked me out. I truly appreciate it. All right. So we're going to be doing this again. I did do this one already and it got corrupt. Like, I'm not going to talk as much in this one because this is a part 2.
Part 8, when my best friend set me up to be unalived and I was shot 5 times while 18 weeks pregnant. Okay, y'all, so I want to explain something that I did not touch on in part 7. My cousin had absolutely no idea what had been going on over the last couple of weeks between my best friend, me, and my homeboy. The only thing she knew was that she was going with me to catch a play. She didn't know that it was the best friend's play or anything like that. And when we got to the hospital, the police took her and took her for questioning. So when my family reached the hospital, they did not see her at first. The first person that they saw was my best friend. That's why they had some.
Also, the best friend came. Okay. All right. Because I was kept asking, like, where is the best friend? Where the best friend at? I missed that part in the other part too. All right.
Many questions for him. And when they finished questioning my cousin, she was allowed to go in with my family. And that is when they questioned my best friend. But he told them the same thing he told my family. He went inside the trailer. He heard the shots. And when he came outside, I was gone. So I'm laying there. I'm crying. I just found out that I'm paralyzed. And I'm just boo-hoo crying. And my mama is like, girl, hush, you alive. That's all that matter. I'd rather you be in a chair than me have to come visit you at your gravesite every day. And I'm telling her, like, Ma, I am happy that I'm alive, but I'm paralyzed. Like, what I'm going to do without my legs? Like, how am I going to take care of my children? Like, I live a carefree lifestyle. Like, I can't be confined to a chair. So my parents and my sister, they trying to comfort me, and I'm getting worked up. So I'm like, can I get some water? Can somebody give me some water? Because I ain't had nothing to drink since before I got shot or to eat. I'm hungry. So the nurse that's in the room tell me that I can't have anything to eat or drink. So my first mind goes to, okay, I'm NPO. So I'm like, well, what procedure do I have to have now? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's next? So she tells me that I can't have anything to drink or eat because my esophagus was bust during the shooting. One of the bullets bust my esophagus. and I have a feeding tube in my side. So I'm like, a feeding tube? Like, anybody know me know I love food. So now I can't eat either. So like I just start crying even more. So I'm like, what else is wrong with me? Like, just tell me what's going on. So the nurse go to running down all my injuries. I'm paralyzed. I can't eat or drink through my mouth. I got a feeding tube. I lost my spleen. I had damage to my liver. I had half of my stomach taken. And then she says that I lost a portion of my small intestine and my large intestine. So when she tell me that I done lost pieces of my intestines, I instantly go to flipping out. I'm like, so I got a shit bag? Like, I gotta walk around with a shit bag in my purse for the rest of my life? And I don't know why she thought that that was a kiki laugh moment, but baby giggled. And she was like, no, you don't have a colostomy bag. You only lost portions of it. You're still able to function that way normally. Because, baby, I was flipping out. Like, what I supposed to have my lip gloss, my chapstick, and a shit bag in my purse for the rest of my life? It's already bad enough that I'm in this chair. So the nurse tell my family that she think it's best that they go home and let me rest for the night. So over that night, y'all, I'm stewing. I have experienced every emotion you can think of. I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm happy, I'm joyful, I'm depressed. Like, I'm just all over the place. I couldn't sleep. So the next morning, it's maybe about 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, and I get a knock on the door. I'm thinking that it's the doctors and the nurses and stuff like that coming in to, give me my medicines or flip me or anything like that because I can't move. Y'all, why the black nurse come walking through the door? I seen that lady, y'all, and I was so happy to see that lady. Like, my smile on my face got so big. And she was like, hey, baby, how you doing? And my smile turned into tears. I just started boohoo crying. I was like, I'm paralyzed. I can't eat. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm just boohoo crying, y'all. And of course, she got me together real quick. She was stressing, stop all that crying. What you crying for? So I was like, I'm paralyzed. Like, what I'm supposed to do? So she was like, well, do you want to walk again? And I was like, yes, of course I want to walk again. And she was like, well, you walk again. And I was like, but I'm paralyzed.
That's what good nurses are about. Like, one thing I give my job, like, the nurses are phenomenal. Like, phenomenal. The way they will ride they will cuss me out for the patients, okay? Like, they don't play. Like, that's one thing, like, I give, like, care work. Like, if you are a nurse and you're there for the money, do not do it. But those who nurses don't understand how much of an impact you can change a person's mentality. You can change a person's life. Like, I have patients that will like call me and say, yo, thank you for all you have done. And I'm like, baby, all I do is your paperwork. Like, what have I done? But to them, it's like I'm God sent to them. The way I care, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to care for these patients because they're in the lowest state and a lot of them give up. You know what I'm saying? And you got to understand that you're their lifeline in a way, you know?
Paralyzed. And she was like, after what you just survived, how could you believe that anything was impossible? And so I was like, but the doctor said that I'm paralyzed. And she said, baby, that's a doctor. That ain't God. So she was able to calm me down, y'all. And we talked for about 15-20 minutes. And, she explained to me that she had been coming by checking on me before, after her shift. She had her church praying for me. And that she was just so happy that I had survived. So she ended up leaving. And a couple hours later, the police came to see me. So when the police came, it was 2 detectives and a uniformed officer. So they asking me, like, all the questions. Do I know who shot me? What happened? Do I know why they shot me? And, I'm trying to figure out in my mind, like, what all I want to tell these people because I don't want to incriminate myself. I don't want to go to jail. And I also am thinking about when I get out of this bed and when I get out this chair and when I can walk again, what I'm going to do. But in my mind, I got to think about all the pain that I done caused myself, all the pain that I done caused my family, like where I'm at in life right now because of the choices that I done made over the last couple of months. And I said, fuck it. And I told him everything, y'all. Like, I didn't leave nothing out. You feel me? So when it come time for me to identify the shooter, they pull out some pictures.
Can I ask a question? Like, I think I said that in the previous video. When you guys are like for the streets, like, isn't that cold? Like, you can't tell, right? Like, isn't that how it works? Like, because now you're an informant because you're telling, right?
So they asked me, do I see the person that shot me? And I see the enforcer right there. So I point him out. Yeah, that guy right there. That's who shot me. So that's when they proceed to tell me that the enforcer had got arrested earlier that afternoon. So after my sister had took these scribblings down to the police department and they began their investigation on the enforcer, they started to piece the puzzle together. And one of the ways they began to piece the puzzle together is they checked all of our phone records and they checked where our phones were pinging. And at the time of my shooting, my phone, the enforcer's phone, and my best friend's phone all pinged off the same tower that was there at that house. They also checked the phone records and they saw calls from my best friend to the enforcer, my best friend to me, my best friend to an unknown number, and from the enforcer to the unknown number. So they had these phone records that were kind of painting a picture of who was calling who right before I was shot, right after I shot, and where everybody was when those phone calls were being made. And the way they ended up arresting the enforcer is that my best friend was in jail. The enforcer had made a visitation for my best friend. So when he got to the visitation to see him, they arrested him at visitation. So they also explained to me that they felt like some more people were involved because of the unknown number that they had on the phone records. So they were going to leave this uniformed police officer there with me just in case anything happened. They also placed a uniformed police officer at my family's home and at my family's restaurant just in case, until they had everybody in custody that was involved with the shooting. So later on that night, my sister came to see me. So I asked her, can I use her phone? Because I want to call my ex. Because I want to know, like, why he ain't been out there to see me. Like, you know, I want to talk to him. Like, this my nigga at the time. So she tell me that no, I can't use her phone to call him. She banned him from the hospital. That's why he ain't been up there. So now I'm confused. Like, why would you ban my nigga from the hospital? Like, what's going on? So that's when she tell me that since I've been shot, my ex has been in the club, hanging out, partying, like I wasn't in here fighting for my life.
I tell you all the time, if a man loves you, their actions show love. Even though, in a way, you know, you'll have the baby daddy, and, you know, whatever. But if a man loves you, their actions show they love you. If a man love you, their action will show you they love you. Baby, listen to what I said. If a man love you, their action will show they love you. Baby, even my nail popped out because it was so sharp. A man that really loves you, baby, you don't have to do a damn thing. Just by him hearing something happen to you, man, that man would drop everything. But when a man doesn't really care for you, their actions show they don't care for you.
He also tells me that after I got shot, he came to my family and told them that they needed to give him my money and all my work because I would want him to have it. But my little sister ain't no fool. She ain't going for that. And after I had got shot, she had already went to my house and cleared out everything that night when she left the police department. And tune in again. Part 9 dropping soon. Part 9 of when my best friend set me up to be unalived and I was shot 5 times while 18 weeks pregnant. So a couple days go by and the police come back and pay me a visit again. they want to talk to me about the unknown number that's on the call log. So they have pretty much established that the unknown number belongs to the big homie. Y'all remember he was sitting in the front seat the day that they put me in the host seat and my homeboy was in the car. But when they go and talk to my best friend and the enforcer, neither one of them will tell them that that is who the number belongs to. And when they did the research with the number was nowhere near the trailer at the time of my shooting. So because all of this, they cannot connect him to my shooting and they cannot make an arrest. So he just roaming around free, y'all. So they just want to make me aware that they're doing everything that they can to connect this other person to my shooting. But until they get some more evidence, they won't be able to make an arrest. So after talking with the detectives over the next couple of days, I end up having an ultrasound. And that's when I find out that I'm having a girl. So when one of my homegirls come to see me, I ask her, can I use her phone? So I reach out to my ex because I done told him that this is his baby. So I reach out to him to tell him that I'm having a girl. But we end up getting into a big argument, y'all, about all the things that he had been doing while I was in the hospital. So when my little sister and my parents find out that I done reached out to my ex and we done got into such a big argument, they stop everybody from coming to see me. Because at this point, they don't trust anybody. So the doctors end up coming to me and they're like, hey, we have a new drug that's on the market, gabapentin. And we would like to give you this drug because we feel like it would help you with the paralysis in your legs. So I'm like, hell yeah, give me anything. I don't care what it is. Give me anything as long as I can walk again, y'all. So I start on the medication, and after maybe like a week or so, I start getting the feeling back in my right leg. It don't feel as sleep anymore. But my left leg is still dead, y'all. I can't really feel anything. So around Thanksgiving time, the hospital that I was in originally felt like I was well enough to go home. So I end up going home maybe about 3 days after Thanksgiving. And I wasn't home 24 hours, y'all, before I ended up collapsing and I had to be rushed back. But I end up at Tampa General Hospital in Tampa now. So now I'm back in the hospital. And I ended up being in the hospital for 4 months, from October to February. And while I was in the hospital, because I was on so many different medications, I ended up getting C. diff. And with C. diff, it affects your bowels. You can't really use the bathroom. I felt like I was constipated all the time and I couldn't get nothing out. So one day, they end up giving me a laxative. So a little while after they gave me this laxative, I started getting real bad cramps and pain in my stomach. So I keep calling the nurse, telling the nurse, hey, I think I'm in labor. And she keep telling me, you not in labor. That's just the laxative working. You got a lot of...
How's somebody gonna tell me if I'm in labor, especially if I had a baby before? How you gonna tell somebody, no, you're not in labor? I know. Like, what? And you didn't even check. Like, all right, girl, let me ease your pain and let me show you that. Girl, you just ignored me. Yeah.
A lot of build up, and when it passed through you, it's gonna hurt. So I'm laying there and I'm in pain for hours. Like I'm going through it, y'all. I can't get up out this bed and I'm in so much pain. So later on that night, my sister come to see me and I'm telling her like, hey, I feel like I'm in labor. I done called the nurse in here 3, 4, 5 times and she not listening to me. And when I told my sister that, y'all, she showed her natural ass. When I tell you she cussed that nurse out so good, baby, she cussed her and called her everything but the child of God. So that made them bring a labor and delivery nurse in and they checked me, and y'all, I had been in labor for hours. I was already dilated. So now they go to panicking. They go to calling labor delivery, getting doctors on the line. Somebody got to come down here and get me and check me because I am about 4 months early from giving birth. And when they get me in the back and they check me, the umbilical cord is wrapped around my daughter's throat and she's not getting any oxygen. So now they have to rush me into emergency surgery. And because I had been cut up and down for my injuries, I could not have a traditional C-section. I had to be cut straight up and down in order for them to get the baby out of me. So they end up doing the surgery and taking my baby out. But when they went in to do the surgery and take her out, they saw that more of my large intestine was damaged. So they had to remove more of my large intestine. I had to have a surgery. So I ended up in recovery after I had my baby, and I could not see her. So it was maybe about a week or so before I got to see my baby. So they put me in the wheelchair and they rolled me down to see her. And when they rolled me in the room, y'all, I'm overcome with so much emotion because my baby was so small, like she could fit in the palm of my hand. So while I'm looking at her, you know, I'm checking her out. I'm like, okay, she got 10 toes. And when I get to her hands, my baby got 12 fingers, y'all. She got an extra digit on each hand. And when I seen the extra digit, y'all, I knew who baby that was. Because my son was born with 12 fingers. And my baby daddy was born with 12 fingers.
So you done cuss your ex out, cuss him out. X this, F this, and he is not the father. Yo, that dude been through the ringer. That your ex been through it, okay? He been through it. That's why he was trying to come up in a way that he can come up.
So y'all, the baby ended up being my baby daddy's baby. So after I had my baby, they were able to start me on certain medications that I could not take while I was pregnant. And because I was taking these medications, I could not breastfeed my baby. And we are a breastfeeding family. But y'all, my little sister saved the day again. While I was in the hospital and all this was going on, my little sister was pregnant too, y'all. And she had just had her baby. So she started pumping extra milk and she breastfed my baby. So now maybe about 2 weeks go by. My sister, she pumping every day, sending her milk to the hospital. I'm rolling down there every day seeing my baby. My mama and daddy coming to the hospital every day to see me. And on February 17th, y'all, they finally released me from the hospital. So I was in the hospital from October 30th to February 17th. My baby ended up having to stay in the NICU for about 3 months after I had her. So when I first get home, y'all, I'm so happy. Like things, you know, they finally making a turn for the better. My baby's doing good. I'm doing good. But all that was short-lived, y'all. Maybe a week or so after I get home from the hospital, my family sit me down and they explained to me that while I was in the hospital, my mother has found out that she has cancer. So over the course of the next year, my daughter has been released from the hospital and my mama fighting her cancer. So I'm rehabbing like crazy, y'all. I gotta get out of this chair. So now I'm up and I'm walking and I'm moving around. And my mama, she's so weak and fragile from fighting this cancer that she can't work. So our family business is struggling. So in my mind, the only thing I know to do is get back outside with the movers and the shakers, y'all. Because I got to provide. So I go to one of my homeboys and I let him know, hey, I got to get back on. Tie me up. So he give me what I need and I'm back outside with it, y'all. But word get around that I'm back outside. And if y'all remember, they never made an arrest on Big Homie.
That's what I was just thinking in my head earlier. I'm like, now you're going back to the streets, okay? You almost lose your life. You say, okay, you know, and I get it. Sometimes it just comes with the territory because this is what you know. This is what you understand. Okay, cool. But if I am almost losing my life, I will be working at McDonald's. I'm just saying, okay? Who am I to judge you? I got 2 baby daddies. But I would have went to McDonald's. You know, I would have went, you know, call center, something. But, you know, and the thing about now, you showed the police, this is who did it. Now, these people now you have a target on your head. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
He outside and I'm outside. So stay tuned for part 10. Part 10, where my best friend set me up to be unalive and I was shot 5 times while 18 weeks pregnant. So now I'm back outside and I'm getting to the money. But while I'm outside, we are awaiting the trial. So I gotta be very careful not to catch no charges or to do nothing crazy, because the defense gonna use that against me. And y'all, these niggas got bold, y'all. They started sending people at me to keep me from testifying. And it was never the big homie or the enforcer themselves. It was always people that I knew, y'all. First, it started with phone calls. Like, I got a phone call from one of my homeboys that was in jail one day, and he's stressing, I need to holler at you. So I'm like, yeah, what's up? What's going on? So he's stressing, hey, I'm in here with the enforcer, and he just wants you to know that he not the one that shot you. So my first question to him is, why the fuck is you calling me with this? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Because they're trying to they always gonna send somebody that you know so they can tug in your heartstring. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I got no issues with you. It ain't no beef. It ain't no problem. You know what I'm saying? I come with peace. And they are the problem. I'm just saying.
Shot me. How you gonna tell me that this man didn't shoot me when I saw who shot me? So another time, I'm in the hood playing cards one day, and one of my plays pull up on me. And when he pull up on me, I go get in the car to handle some business. So when I get in the car, he go to stressing, listen, I ain't trying to be in the middle of nothing, but the enforcer wanted me to let you know that he ain't the one that shot you. So now I'm getting blowed. Like, what the fuck going on? So when the phone calls and the running down on me didn't work, they started shooting money at me, y'all. A couple of his relatives reached out to me, and the first time they offered me $5,000. Then they offered me $10,000. Then they offered me $15,000 for me not to testify. So one day I'm going to get some work. So I go to my plug house. I pull up, I get out, and I go in through the garage. And when I go through the garage, he let the garage down on me, and we chopping it up as usual. And the next thing I know, the door open. And when I look up, the enforcer's nephew is walking through the door. So I'm looking like, what the fuck? I instantly go to reaching down in my purse, because everybody know I keep that thing on me. So the first thing he go to stressing is, Red, I ain't here to do nothing to you. Me and you all right. Because me and him have always been all right. So I'm like, well, what the fuck you doing here then? What's up? Like, what is this? So he want to know what it's going to take, how much it's going to cost for me not to get on the stand. So now I'm looking at this nigga stupid. I'm looking at both of them stupid. Because what the fuck?
You know how much it would cost if your cousin didn't pull out the fire and try to end my life? Yeah, try to end this girl's life over nada, zero, nothing. If you guys didn't try to end her life, maybe she would have had sympathy. You guys are pulling, y'all tried to end her life, and then y'all coming to me, what is it gonna take for you to forgive me? Listen, you tried to take my life.
Like I told him, why the fuck would I not get on the stand? Y'all don't seem to understand that I saw who shot me. I know who shot me. My child is disabled because he shot me. He almost took my life. There is no amount of money in the world that is going to keep me from getting on that stand. So when I leave her that day, I'm blowed. I'm telling myself, you got to slow down a little bit. You got to take a step back. So I go to my baby daddy, because I done already let him know that this is his baby. And I'm stressing, listen, I got to chill. These niggas keep shooting at me. They keep sending people towards me. I got to lay low. So I need your help. I can't hustle like I've been hustling. So my baby daddy helping me out, and things is all cool at first. But one day, me and him get into an argument. I can't even remember what the argument about, y'all. It was so small, but it turned into something so big. And y'all, this nigga fucked around and said, if you keep talking, I'm gonna tell them niggas where the fuck you stay at. What? Oh, fuck, nigga, I can't trust you neither.
Girl, you can't trust him. He already left. He went to the left, to the left. The only reason why now he's back is because that's his baby and he is the daddy. But he already showed his true color. He left. The ex low key was the kind of the loyal one in the beginning. To be, I'm just saying.
So y'all, now I'm blowed. My head spinning. I don't know who to trust. You know what I'm saying? But all I know is my mama is getting sicker. She's losing her battle with cancer. And I gotta get me some money. So me and these bad decisions, y'all. So I know I can't really get money in my hood like I normally be getting money. And I can't trust my baby daddy no more. So I gotta get back outside. And that caused me to go to getting money in places that I ain't got no business getting money in. And y'all, I fucked around and caught a charge. I went to jail. So while I'm in jail, the state attorney come to see me. And she hot. She giving it to my ass, y'all. She stressing, don't you know they gonna use all this against you? So she telling me when I get out of jail that I gotta chill. I can't get back in no more trouble. I gotta stay out the streets. But I really ain't trying to hear none of that, y'all. My baby disabled. My mama dying. I can barely walk. I can barely eat. I can't trust nobody around me. And I'm going broke. Like, what do you want me to do? So when I got out of jail, y'all, I went right back to my block. I'm in crash out mode now. Ain't nobody telling me what I can do. Ain't nobody finna run me off my block. I'm through the city with it every fucking day. So one day, I'm riding through the city. And I keep checking my rear view. And I feel like this car following me. So I hit a couple turns. The car hit a couple turns too. I hit a couple more turns. Car hit a couple more turns too. So I'm like, damn, is this car following me? So I hit it. Boom. I'm sliding. I look back and the car's still behind me. So I head straight to my cousin's house. I jump out the car. I go around the front of the car and I get on the side of the car. And I kind of lean down a little bit. And when the car come passing by, I stand up and I look inside the car. And it's the big homie in the fucking car. This nigga following me. So maybe like 2-3 weeks go by. I'm like real cautious now. I'm in my rear view every day. Like I'm really paying attention to what's going on around me. And my homegirl hit me up one day and she like, hey, can you give me a ride to the jail? I need to go see my baby daddy. So I'm like, yeah, cool, I got you. So while we on our way to the jail to see her baby daddy, something inside me say, go see that fuck nigga. So I made a visitation to go see my best friend. And I go in and I sit down and it's a virtual visitation like on a computer screen. So I'm sitting there like 5-10 minutes. Like he took forever to come to the screen. I know he was kind of like surprised or maybe shook. Like, damn, what the fuck she doing here? So when he finally come in and he sit down, the first thing I say to him is, you got something you want to say to me? And the first thing that nigga say is, I'm sorry. So I'm stressing, what the fuck you mean you sorry? Like I could have died. Like what the fuck is wrong with you? How could you let something like that happen to me? So he on some, I didn't know it was finna happen. The same thing he was stressing about me being in the backseat of that car. I didn't know it was finna happen. I didn't know till after the fact. I would never do anything like that to you. So this time, I'm calling bullshit. Fuck nigga, you a liar. You a bitch ass nigga. I'm spazzing. Like I'm going off. Like I'm so angry, y'all. I just let every bit of emotion that I had been feeling since I got shot, I just laid it all out right there in front of him. Like I went the fuck off. So I leave visitation. I feel a little better. But shit still fucked up for me, y'all. And a couple weeks later, I'm through the city and I pull over at the racetrack. And when I pull over at the racetrack, I'm pumping my gas. And while I'm pumping my gas, I look towards the door of the racetrack. And it's the same car that had been following me a couple weeks before. So while I'm looking, the big homie get out of his car. So then he get out of the car And he walked to the back of his car and he go to leaning on the car like this. So I go to leaning on my car like this. So he looking at me, I'm looking at him. And I'm like, what's up? What we gonna do? And y'all, this nigga laughed, got in his car, and drove off. So when I left the store that day, I said, something gotta give. I gotta make a change. I got too much at stake here, and shit is getting ugly. So I left the streets, I got a job, and I enrolled in school. And now I'm out the way. So now I'm out the way, I'm doing good, I'm sticking to the script. And then the next thing I know, my world come crashing down, y'all. I'm on my way to school, and I get a phone call, and my mama done died. And y'all gotta come back for part 11. Part 11, when I was set up by my best friend to be unalived, and I was shot 5 times while 18 weeks pregnant. So after my mom passed away, I was overcome by grief. I was managing a lot of emotions. It's grief, it's guilt, it's anger, and they're all directed inward towards myself. You know, I'm thinking about all the things that I put my mom through, all the expectations that she had of me that I let her down. I'm thinking about all the time.
That's one of the worst feelings. Like me, when my dad died, my family said it to him, oh dang, your dad died to see you nothing. You was nothing. The only thing you gave your dad was a baby. Baby, if I tell you that fucked with me, I think it made me act a little bit crazy. I think that's when crazy T started coming, because I was angry. Because at that time, I kept saying, well, my dad's not here. I'm already a failure. You know, fuck it. And I didn't notice my emotions were so bad because I was really acting out. Like, I was doing things out of the ordinary. I was dating dudes that I would never even look at. You know what I'm saying? I was messing with guys that I wouldn't even think of. But it was a sign, because in my mind, I'm already a failure. Why do I need dignity? Why do I need respect? My dad ain't here. That's the only man that ever loved me. You know? And grief it has a funny way. It's either it controls your life or you have to control it, because grief comes, I feel like that's the easiest way for the devil to attack you, is when you lose someone so close to you, especially unexpectedly. You get what I mean?
Time that I missed with her while I was outside. All the family functions I didn't attend, like just everything, you know. And during this time, I'm also dealing with my daughter's disability. She was diagnosed with cerebral palsy and epilepsy. So she could not walk, she could not talk, and she was eating through a feeding tube in her side. And she was also having reoccurring seizures. So because of all this, I was spending a lot of time in the hospital. And I just became very depressed. Like I was battling a major depression. So I began to shut myself off from the world and self-medicate. I was drinking, I was smoking, I was prescriptioning. Like, I just wanted to be numb. I didn't want to feel, and I didn't want to heal. Like, I was stuck in this terrible, terrible place. You know, during all this, there were times that I felt like I just didn't want to be here. Like, why did you even save me? Like, is this what you saved me for, God? Like, what am I doing? It's just, life is nothing and nowhere that it should be. Like, this isn't what my life was supposed to be. This isn't what I had planned for myself. So I end up quitting school, quitting my job, and y'all know, I went back outside. And I started to depend heavily on my kids' godmom and members of my family to take care of my children. And even though I am drowning in this grief, I want to make it clear that I still was a present mom. Like, I thought about all the time that I missed with my mom, and I did not want to miss that time with my children. So I was there for any type of functions or, things at the school or doctor's visits and things like this. But I was also an intoxicated mom. And even though I thought that I was doing a good thing by being present, even though I'm intoxicated, I still was causing harm to my children and the people around me because the state of mind that I was in while I was at any of these things. And so what ended up being a turning point for me in this situation is my kids' godmom came to me and she was like, hey, I'm getting ready to move away. You're going to have to start taking more responsibility with your children. And so she moved. And in the beginning, I'm thinking, I can handle this. Like, it's taking care of kids. I've been taking care of kids for a long time. But I'm trying to take care of my children, and I'm still very much depressed and intoxicated. So then there came a time where I had been up for a couple days, running the streets, dropping my kids off at this sister house, that sister house. And I picked my kids up, and by the time we got home, I'm coming down, and I'm exhausted. So I lay down to go to sleep, and I ended up sleeping for the whole day, like hours, y'all. And when I woke up, my son had been trying to take care of my daughter. He was trying to feed her. He was trying to change her diapers. He was trying to give her medication. And at that point, I realized that I was failing as a mother. And at that point, I realized that I know my mom.
I think we all been through a situation kind of similar, right? I know there's the perfect, holy down moms that never make no mistake, but sometimes it has to take something really drastic for you to notice. I remember when I was living with my ex, story time, when people get mad. I was living with my ex, and there was a point, like, I was so miserable. I lost myself, baby. I started gaining weight. Then I started having, I kept getting pregnant, kept having miscarriages, baby. I don't miscarry. I carry my babies full term. I'll tell you, that was the hardest time, and I got depressed. I used to stay up all night, watch the sun come, and then sleep. Child, I barely took care of the kids. I'm gonna be real. I was mean. I was mean. Like, I was so mean. Everything. My daughter would ask me a simple question. I would lash out. I would just lash out on her. She didn't do nothing. And then when I left, I remember when I left, I still was mean and angry because now I didn't have a place. And I'm like, what the fuck? God, you gave me these kids. And it's like, God's like, I didn't do that. You picked this demon. I already told you this. Yo, God told me early on. Like, my baby daddy number one, God didn't say nothing for real. Not for real. I used to pray, nothing. My baby daddy number two, early on. Like, when somebody say, I hear voices early on. God kept saying, this people. Like, one time I was driving, God's like, this is not what I chose for you. And I kept ignoring it. God, is he the one for me? And it'll be like, no. Like, I swear to God. No, and I would ignore it. Like, when people like, God speak to you, I don't know if that moment, but God, whoever it was, my guardian angel was like, no. I used to have dreams about leaving him. Like, I remember one time I had a dream that I was just sitting, right, and somebody came up to me in the dream and was like, your dad is highly disappointed with that guy you picked. And I was like, damn. You would think I'd leave. No, I didn't leave. I still stayed. Still try to make it work. And it's not even because the fact like, oh, I love my baby daddy, he was cute. He was not. My baby daddy was none of the above. My baby daddy really wasn't my type. He was cool, you know. We didn't really talk that much. He was the most boring relationship I ever been with, but I stayed because I kept saying to myself, Tasha, you got 2 baby daddies. And I think what really got in my mind, and when I got older, when my aunt kept saying, dang, your dad died to see that you are nothing but a mother. And I said, you know what, Tasha, you don't want to have 2 baby daddies. Even though he was the baby daddy, you weren't married, dummy. And I had to really get to a point, like, even like recently, I said, Tasha, you got to forgive, bro. You got to forgive yourself. You got to give yourself grace, bro. For you to be an amazing mother, you have to love you. You got to forgive you. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the hardest things for her to be real and express, like, yo, this is how I'm feeling. You know? I am a bad mom. I need to fix it. Sometimes, this is the first time we are parents. It takes us to a level. Sometimes we go party, we go club, we're smoking, we're having fun. Yo, I know this girl who said she left her baby in the house. She went to the club. And she said the house burned on fire and they found the baby hunched up. Ooh, that still gives me chills. You know? So at least God gave you the grace, you know what I'm saying, to be a mother.
And at that point, I realized that I know my mom was definitely not happy with how I was living and what I was doing. So when I looked myself in the mirror that day, I could not look myself in the mirror. And I knew then that it was time for me to pull myself together and to make a change. So I decided that I was going to get help, and I began therapy. And that's when I began writing music and trying to find an outlet for all the different feelings and emotions that I was having. And during this healing process, I received a call from the state attorney that they were ready to go to trial. So during the preparation for trial, they brought me in a couple times, and you know, they went over some questions and some things that would be addressed during the trial. And when the trial begins, the first couple of days of trial, they bring in the experts, the telephone people that, you know, explained all of the telephone calls, the pinging and different things like that. They brought in the officers, they brought in forensic experts, and after that, then it became time for the witnesses to testify. So the people that were standing outside of my car that night, they refused to testify. They did not show up for court at all. And then they called my cousin to testify. And she came and she testified to everything that happened from the time we left the house to when we got to the hospital. But in the end, she could not identify the shooter. And the next witness was my best friend, y'all. I was a little surprised that he was testifying. I was all ears. But when he testified that he did not know about the shooting until after it happened. He testified that a few days later, after the shooting, him and the enforcer had a conversation, and the enforcer told him he was the one that had shot me. And when he asked the enforcer why he shot me, the enforcer told him that the big homie was the one that wanted him to shoot me. He said that him and the big homie were at the casino gambling, and he had lost like $3,000 or $4,000 that he borrowed from the big homie. So the big homie told him in order to pay that money back, he needed him to take me out. So when he asked the enforcer, why did the big homie want me taken out? He said that the big homie told him that I had robbed them for some work and some money, and that he wanted him to take me out because I had robbed them. He also testified that he had never spoken to the big homie about this, that the only person that had told him this was the enforcer. So even though he testified, it was more on the grounds of hearsay. He heard all of this third party. It was nothing that he had ever witnessed himself. And y'all, if y'all could have seen my face in the courtroom that day when this child of God got on the stand and said that, my goodness. I knew the state had prepared me that they were going to drag my name through the mud, but they did not prepare me for this. I was so flabbergasted, y'all. I could not believe it, because I'm thinking in my mind, what do I need to rob any of y'all for? I got more money than most of y'all. Like, it just was one blow after another, y'all. And after my best friend testified, they decided to adjourn court that day because they wanted to have a whole day for me to testify. So you guys are going to have to stay tuned for the season finale for my day in court and the outcome of everything in this situation. Part 12, when my best friend set me up to be unalived and I was shot 5 times while 18 weeks pregnant. So when I leave the courtroom that day that my best friend testified, I'm livid, y'all. I'm so mad you could see the smoke coming out of my ears. So I go straight to the state attorney. And I'm like, did you know that he was going to say that when you put him on the stand? This lady looked me right in my face and said, yes, I did. So now I'm confused. I'm stressing, how could you put him on the stand knowing that he was going to say that? And how could you not tell me that that is what he was going to say? So that's when she tells me that they needed a motive to go to trial. And even though I had told her about everything that happened at the gambling house, my best friend would not confirm that story. Because if he did, it would implicate him in another crime. And when he came forward to testify, this is the motive that he gave them. And she didn't tell me because she knew how I would react. So that shit right there made me angry. So now I want to know, when is my best friend gonna go to trial? Y'all, this lady said that they would not be pressing any charges against my best friend for anything related to my shooting. I couldn't believe it. What you mean you not pressing any charges? So because I was the only one that could identify the shooter and the only one that came forward, they needed his testimony. And because they needed his testimony, they chose not to press any charges against him. So I'm telling her, that's not good enough. So he just gets to walk free for what he did to me. And I'm also stressing, what more do you need than my testimony? Like, I am the person that was shot, and I am telling you who shot me. What better witness is there? And she on some, he's not walking free. He's serving 10 years for the things that they found in his house when they came and served the search warrant. She looked me in my face and said, sometime is better than no time. We just have to take what we can get. I couldn't even say nothing, y'all. I just turned and walked away. I was so fucking mad. So I'm coming back the next day to testify. And I'm always having to manage my emotions. So I'm angry, I'm confused, I'm nervous, I'm anxious. Like, I'm just ready to have the opportunity to speak my truth. And when I take the stand, at first, everything is cool, calm, and collected. The prosecutor is questioning me and she's asking me all the things. What happened? Who shot you? Do you see him here today? You know, the regular rigmarole. So then it becomes the defense's turn to question me. And at first, the lawyer was real smooth. He apologized to me for what I had been through and what my child had been through, what my family went through, blah, blah, blah. And baby, that man went from 0 to 100 in the blink of an eye. First, he brought up my street life and how I was living. He painted me as this out of control, unstable, street person that would do anything for $1. Then he asked me, do you know what a lie is? So I said, yes, I know what a lie is. And then he asked me, have you ever told a lie? Now, I would be a liar if I sat here and said, no, I've never told a lie. So I said, yes, I have. So then he said, are you lying now? And I said, no, I'm not lying now. Why would I want the person that shot me to go free? If I'm lying on your client, then that means the person that shot me is still out there. So then he asked, have you ever lied about the paternity of any of your children? What the fuck? So my response was, I don't understand what that has to do with the reason why we're here today. And he said, we're just trying to get a feel of your character. My character? Baby. So then this man says, have you ever unalived anyone? Y'all, my insides started boiling because I already know where he's headed with this. You feel me? So I held my head high and I looked him right in his face and I said, yes, I have. So he said, are we speaking on the incident that happened a few years prior with the young man that you were dating at the time? And I said, yes, I am. Because a couple years before this, I was a victim of domestic violence. I was in an abusive relationship, and one day my boyfriend at the time attacked me and stabbed me. And during that attack, he ended up losing his life. So he said, how do you know that it was not his family seeking revenge? How do you know that they are not the ones that shot you? And I looked at him and I said, because I saw who shot me. And it was your client, the enforcer, who shot me. When I tell y'all the person that I had become over the last couple of years was put to the test that day when I was on the stand, this man dragged my name through the mud and tried to push every button I had, y'all. When I got off the stand that day, I felt terrible on the inside. Here I am, a victim of a heinous crime. And I'm here, I'm being vulnerable, I'm speaking my truth, I'm seeking justice for something that was done to me. And I get on the stand and I'm victimized all over again. And that day, I fully understood why many women who are victims of abuse don't come forward. We're never believed. We always have to prove that it is something that we did not deserve. So after I testified, they informed us that the enforcer would not be taking the stand in his own defense. So now it is time for jury deliberations. So the jury is out deliberating and I am all over the place. You know, a part of me is feeling all of these terrible emotions, but another part of me is kind of relieved because I'm like, okay, this is finally over. I can finally move forward with the next chapter of my life. So we come back in from jury deliberations and I got my head down and I'm praying. I'm talking to my mama and I'm listening. And the next thing that I hear is the jury could not come to a decision. We have a hung jury, y'all. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I got up and I walked out the courtroom and I waited for the state attorney. And when she came out there, baby, I was ready to give her a piece of my mind. So she's stressing, calm down. We're gonna get him. We're going back to trial. Not only is he going back to trial for this, he's about to go to trial because a few years before he tried to unalive me, he unalived someone else and a witness has come forward. Just trust me. And baby, I don't trust you. Look at what you just put me through. There's no way that I trust you. So I leave the courtroom that day. I'm broken. I'm defeated. I'm deflated. But I got to pick up and I got to keep moving. So life goes on. Some time passed and I end up getting a call from the state attorney. And I'm expecting her to call me to tell me that we're about to go to trial. So she says, I have some good news and I have some bad news. So I'm like, what's up? And she says, we're going to offer him a deal. A deal? What you mean you gonna offer him a deal? She says that there was an incident at the jail where another prisoner tried to take a guard's life, and the enforcer stepped in and saved the guard's life. And because of that, they would be offering him a deal of 12 years. Y'all, I snapped. My daughter can't wake up in 12 years and say, I don't want to be disabled no more. I can't wake up in 12 years and erase everything that has happened to me over the last few years. I can't wake up in 12 years and have my mama back. And she basically said that there was nothing that they could do, that they had already offered him the deal. She was just giving me a courtesy call to let me know how the case had ended. So then I asked about the big homie, and she said they would not be pressing charges against him either, because the enforcer refused to say that he was involved. So my best friend got 10 years, the enforcer got 12 years, the big homie was never arrested, and the justice system failed me and my family. And that is the story of how my best friend set me up to be unalived, and I was shot 5 times while 18 weeks pregnant. I want to thank everybody for their love and support. It really meant a lot to me for you guys to go with me on this journey.
You know, look at your life now. You know what I'm saying? I did see a post about her saying, unfortunately, her daughter did pass away. So my condolences to that. I am super glad to see that your life is, you know, you're going viral, girl. I like every time I try to catch your stuff, I see you posted and your numbers are going up. So, you know, look at your purpose now, you know, and I know your mom will be super proud of you. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully this one is not corrupt. And I will see you guys later. Bye.